Hey everybody, it's your boy Arjun. I'm back here with a new video. Sorry it's been a while since I posted my last video. I've been shadowing doctors a lot. I've been meaning to film my experiences. However, it's a little tricky filming myself while I'm shadowing these doctors or physicians because you can't really film much, obviously, because you can't show patient information on the internet. I recently shadowed a neurologist. I'm shadowing a pediatric surgeon in the clinic and in the OR next week. And I also have a neurosurgeon lined up in the upcoming week. So far, the experience has been really cool, to say the least. Seeing these physicians work at the hospital, not only does it motivate me to work harder at my classes, also just super cool seeing how in 20 years from now, 10 years from now, 10 years? That might be a little too short, but 10, 15 years from now, I'm going to be doing the exact same things that these people are doing. If you haven't already, definitely make sure to shadow doctors, physicians, nurses, whichever field you're trying to go into. This video has absolutely nothing to do with shadowing. This video is about how to get an A or how to be successful in organic chemistry. The reason why I'm making this video is because organic chemistry is 100% going to be one of the hardest classes that you guys will be taking as a pre-med student. Fun fact, during my first day of class, we were in our organic chemistry lecture, and then the first thing our professor says is, "Welcome to chemistry 343, which is organic chemistry." And he straight up says, "This is going to be the hardest classes that you take in your undergrad year." Obviously that had all of us very scared, but at the same time I liked it because he was being honest with us. I would rather him, tell us harsh truths about the class instead of just lying and being like, "Oh, it's gonna be so easy," or "It's gonna be fine." I mean, everyone prior to taking this class knows that organic chemistry is a beast of a class. It's one of the hardest classes for anyone. If you guys haven't seen my last video, make sure to check it out. I basically reveal my spring semester and my fall semester sophomore year grades. You guys might be wondering why you should listen to me instead of anyone else, and honestly you should listen to all of your different resources. I'm just sharing my personal experience, and again, I did get a pretty good grade in this class, which is why I want to share my knowledge with you. So let's get started with the video. The first tip that I'm going to tell you guys isn't really just about organic chemistry, but about just all of your classes as a whole. Utilize office hours. If you guys don't know what office hours is, I talked about this in my other videos just because I emphasize it a lot. Office hours is a dedicated amount of time which the students can go in and talk to their professors and ask them questions about class, research, or anything else. I started going to office hours since my first week of class. Obviously I didn't have to go because the content during the first week wasn't really that difficult. It was Gen Chem review, but I ended up going just so I could meet the professor, and then I wanted to introduce myself. So after attending office hours for the first week and the second week, during the third week of class I went to office hours again, like normally obviously. And usually in office hours not that many people show up. We had usually one person, two people, three people, maybe four people at one time. So it's a good time for you to talk with other students who are learning about the same material as you, and you can listen to their questions, they can listen to your questions, everyone can learn together. But also during office hours, a really cool thing that happened during last semester is my organic chemistry professor literally asked me whether I wanted to do research with him. This never happens, by the way. Usually undergrad students have to reach out to the mentors and different professors to get a research opportunity. I told him I'd get back to him just because I already had a lot of things going on. I was already tackling one research project, and I didn't really know if I could manage another one. I'm all about taking opportunities, and I think doing this research thing would be really good experience, and it just seems like a cool project. But sometimes you have to step back a little bit and then think about everything else that you're doing and then make the ultimate decision on whether this is right for you. Utilize office hours. You don't have to stay for the full hour. You can stay there for 10 minutes, talk to the professor. You could ask them for a letter of rec one day, ask questions, you get one-on-one time, and then they'll know you a little better as students. It's always good to form good relationships with your professors. This next tip kind of ties in with one of the tips that I already talked about. If you are confused about something, please do not hesitate to ask a professor or someone else. I used to be scared of asking questions to my professors and to my friends, but nowadays I just tell myself, if I don't understand something, I don't care if I look like a fool, but I'm going to ask it. More than likely, there's going to be someone else in the class that has the exact same question as you. So if you ask it, not only are you helping yourself, but you're helping your classmate. Also utilize SI hours, supplemental instructor, or tutors. Many campuses, if not all, they probably have free tutoring available for students. So if you don't understand something, go in, ask them. The angle might be a bit different right now because my friend called me and I had to pick up the phone. I don't really remember where I placed the camera before answering, so I don't even remember what I was saying. I think I was talking about SI leaders and SI tutoring and stuff like that, so utilize it. My second tip is using study groups. So I have mixed feelings about study groups because I've been part of really good study groups, but at the same time, I've been part of really bad study groups. Freshman year, I used to study with a bunch of people in one room, people from all different levels, and that didn't really work out that well. I didn't really get much out of these sessions. It would usually usually be me teaching the other students basically everything, which is good, but at the same time, it's not really the best. Sophomore year, I met some really cool people who understood the content to the same level as me. It was a group of like 3 to 4, maybe 5 people, and we met up before every single exam just to go over all the review material and the exam material. And I found that to be super helpful because since they're on the same level as me, I don't really like using this term, but in reality, I can't really think of anything else, anything better to replace it with. Since they're on the same level as me, all of us understood the content to a similar extent. So I wasn't the one that was teaching them every single little thing, and they weren't the one that were teaching me every single little thing. We would take turns going over different exam material, and then if I felt confident about a certain section, I would teach it to them or review it with them. And then if they felt comfortable with a different section, then they would like teach it to me. Find a couple of people. I wouldn't say anything more than like 5 people because at that point it just becomes like a talk session. My third tip is to utilize other sources besides just your textbook. In fact, I don't even think I opened my, that's not true. I did open my textbook for like the first couple of weeks, but then afterwards I didn't really find it to be helpful. Utilize your textbook, utilize other sources such as Organic Chemistry for Dummies. This book, I used it a couple of times. It's pretty helpful. Also, there are a bunch of good organic chemistry videos online which you can utilize. For example, some of the best organic chemistry videos that I've watched are from like Leia for Sciences. Khan Academy also has really good organic chemistry videos. Oh, another good one is the Organic Chemistry Tutor. All of those are really good resources that you can use to not only learn about some of the difficult topics, but you can also review some of their other videos to strengthen your knowledge about some of the topics that you already feel comfortable about. One of the main tips that I can give for this class in particular is repetition. Repetition is huge when it comes to organic chemistry, especially during the chapters when you're talking about mechanisms, which in my opinion was the hardest part of organic chemistry. Mechanisms are very difficult because you have to know where like the arrow moves, you have to know every single little details about every single mechanism that you are learning about. Professors tell you to not memorize the mechanisms. However, I tried to follow that advice and it didn't really work. They ask you to find like different patterns and stuff like that, which for some of the mechanisms, there's definitely patterns that you can follow. But for most of them, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I couldn't really find that many patterns, so I just ended up memorizing them. Once you repeat something for like 1,000 times, well, not 1,000, but like 500 times, it tends to stick to your brain, which is why repetition is huge. Also, don't wait until the last minute to study for an exam, especially in organic chemistry. This is not a class where you can cram the night before and get an A in. Right when you learn a mechanism, go to your whiteboard and then practice it over and over again. Obviously, you're not going to get it down on the first day, but try to get at least something down. Spaced repetition is huge. Flashcards are also another good thing, writing down the mechanism. Definitely a thing that you could use. I found that to be super helpful. Honestly, probably one of my biggest tips is using repetition. I have 3 different stacks of flashcards that are like this big each. I don't know where they are right now just because I haven't really looked inside my backpack after school ended, which is not a good thing. My next tip is honestly pretty simple. Use old exams. Some professors might give you their old exams. If they don't give you their old exams, they will definitely give you like review questions. Attend lectures. In my class this semester, there were at least like 4 or 5 questions on the exams that came directly from my professor's lecture. I asked a couple of other students that took organic chemistry before I took it, and then to see if their experience was the same, and they basically said, yeah, if you attend a lecture, you were basically guaranteed to have at least a couple of questions from the exam that were exactly the same as the lecture question that the professor goes over. I already mentioned this, but I want to emphasize this once again because I think this is one of the most important tips. Do practice questions. Reading the textbook is definitely going to help, but at the same time, if you don't do practice questions, you're not going to fully understand the material. Practice questions are huge. Write them down. Do them multiple different times until you fully understand something. Learn from your mistakes. You're going to make a lot of mistakes in this class. I made a lot of mistakes in my class. Everyone makes a mistake in this class. That's how you learn. Making mistakes is how you learn and how you grow as a person. But this goes for anything in life. But yeah, those are just some of the main things that I utilized and did to get a good grade in organic chemistry. You can also use these tips for some of the other classes that you're taking. All of my tips might not work for you. Not everyone has the same study strategy and not everyone, learns the same way. Just try out different methods and see what works the best for you. But honestly, guys, if you really think about it, organic chemistry is a really difficult class. There's nothing to hide about that. I 100% spent the most amount of my time studying for this class. And as a college student, when you're balancing out 4 or 5 other courses, sometimes it can get a little bit difficult, especially during difficult units such as mechanisms. Anytime I encounter a difficult class or a difficult unit, I basically tell myself that there's other people that have to do the exact same thing as me and the people that are, ahead of me, they've also completed the same things as me, so there's no point of complaining. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Best of luck to everyone who's taking Orgo, and just best of luck to all you guys going back to school in the fall. And if you're taking summer classes, good luck to you. I believe in you all, and I say this all the time, but if I can do it, so can you, so can anyone. I am not a smart student, guys. I just work hard. But that's gonna wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please make sure to smash that like button, click that subscribe button, and comment below. The next video, or the video that comes out after this, is gonna be a little bit different. It's gonna be a little skit. I don't know how that's gonna go, but it's been your boy RJ, and I'm out. Peace.